Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Richard Reyes. I'm a real estate agent in Orange County with KW Commercial, the Combs team. Now today I want to talk to you guys about some tips of how to sell your house fast. So stay tuned and we'll go over those. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button as I upload new videos every single week. Alright, let's get started. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to sell your house fast. So tip number one, what you want to do even before the property hits the market, you want to prepare your property. What that means is you want to make sure that you take care of all the deferred maintenance. Let's say, you have a little bit of paint that's chipped. You want to take care of that. Maybe clean the carpet. Declutter the outside. There's bushes that need to be cut. It's like take care of all the stuff first, because the first thing buyers see when they actually walk up to the property is of course the yard, right? So you want to make sure that the yard is well maintained. You want to take care of all the bushes, make sure everything is nice and trimmed. That will go a long way for you to sell your property fast. So remember, the first thing they look at is the outside. So how does the outside look? So you want to make sure that the outside looks decent, it looks good, so that way it's eye-catching and the buyer wants to walk into that property. So remember that the curb appeal makes a huge difference when selling your house fast. So let's go over that. You want to make sure that your landscaping is well maintained and it gives that great curb appeal, so when a buyer comes and sees that property, they want to go ahead and walk in, like I said. They want to walk in. Now, tip number two is once they walk in, right? Once they walk in, how does your house look from the inside? That's another thing that you have to declutter, right? Like most of us, we tend to put stuff all over the place. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of probably half of the stuff that you have inside when you want that house to be presentable. Now, some houses will require to be staged, some not, depending on how your furniture is. You also want to get rid of family pictures, anything that's going to distract the buyer from looking at the house. Because if they see pictures of yourself, your family, your kids, they're going to start looking at the pictures, start thinking, I wonder if my kids go to school with their kids, or he looks familiar or she looks familiar. So the last thing you want to do is have the buyer get distracted by the family pictures. So that's one of the things that you definitely want to remove. And then you also want to get rid of most of the stuff in the kitchen, right? You want to leave the kitchen nice and clean, leave a few items there, here and there, like the coffee pot, the jars. Some of the jars, can stay, but most of the stuff can go. Also, in regards to the cabinets, try to get rid of most of the stuff. Try to keep it clean, because these buyers will actually look at all the cabinets, your closets, the reason being because they want to see what it looks like. They want to see how much stuff they could actually put in there, right? So you definitely want to give them that imagination of what they can do once they purchase a house. So remember, declutter as much as you can and get rid of most of the stuff that you do have inside the house, right? Because you're moving out anyway, so you want to go to maybe store it, put it in boxes, put it in the garage, whatever the case may be, but definitely make the inside look inviting for the buyers, so that way you can sell your property fast. So remember that. Declutter as much as you can, so that way when the buyers come in, they can totally imagine themselves living in the property. They can imagine what they can do once they own it. So you want to give them that imagination, because when it's too cluttered, they start thinking a little bit, I don't feel comfortable in here. Or even if you have family pictures, like I said, if you have those family pictures up, they're gonna feel like they're intruding into your house. It's an uncomfortable feeling. Just imagine yourself how you would think if you were to walk into somebody's house like that, right? So you definitely want to make it inviting, keep it as clean as possible, take care of all the deferred maintenance inside the house too, give it a fresh paint job, and clean the carpets, or if you can, go ahead and replace the carpet too. You know, that's another great selling point, because the less things the buyer needs to do, the more likely they are willing to make an offer on the property. Another tip is to price your home to sell. Now, I know most sellers, you definitely want to sell to the highest you possibly can, try to get the most out of it. But the reality is, you have to be reasonable, right? If you want to sell your house fast, you have to keep it within reason. You can't overprice it, because at that point, the reality is buyers are not going to make any offers on that. So you definitely want to price it. Now, the important thing about pricing it right is that as your agent, we have to make sure that you have an understanding too of what it can actually sell for, right? So we're going to do the comps. We're going to make sure that we provide them for you, so you can see, hey, look, this is what these properties are selling for, that are close to what your property looks like, whether it's, amount of bedroom, bathrooms, square footage, and so on, right? So we want to make sure that you have a good understanding of why it's being priced at a certain amount. So you also have to be reasonable as a seller. You can't think that, we'll price it really high, and then, as time goes by, then you want to lower down the price. The thing that you have to think about is that the longer it stays in the market, the more people are going to think that there's something wrong with the property, right? Because right now we're actually in a seller's market. So if buyers are not looking to purchase your property, well, there's something wrong, right? That's the first thing that comes to mind, because you're pricing it too high, and then as you start lowering it down, then they're gonna start thinking, okay, what's going on with that property? What's wrong with that property since they're not getting all those offers? So make sure that you're pricing it the right way, and that your agent explains that to you, right? You don't want to just tell your agent, I want it sold for this much, and your agent just agrees. That's not a good agent. You want an agent that's going to tell you the truth, tells you what you need to do in regards to sell your property fast, so that way you're happy. And so remember, if you want to sell your property fast, price is going to be the number one factor. So just remember that. Another tip to sell your property fast is marketing. But this falls a little bit more on the agent side. So you definitely want to get the right agent that's familiar with whatever the new marketing strategies are. It gets marketed the right way, that they bring in professional photographers to take pictures of the property, so that way it looks good. And not only that, but also have somebody to do a virtual tour of the property. So your online presence is huge, right? When you want to sell your property fast. Now, like I said, this falls definitely on the real estate agent. We want to make sure that the real estate agent hires a professional photographer, also does a virtual tour of the property, and if you need to, you'll also have to do aerial views with a drone of the property, so they can get a better idea of not only of the property, but the neighborhood, how the neighborhood actually looks, right? Because that's another thing that buyers will look at. Aside from your property looking good, well, how does the neighborhood look, right? So it gives them a better idea in regards to what the property looks like. So those are really good if you want to sell your property fast. So just remember, guys, just go over with the information really quick again. So just make sure to prepare your house so that way it sells fast. Focus on everything from the outside, landscaping, and the inside. Declutter as much as you can, so that way it's inviting. And remember to try to get rid of most of your personal family pictures, so that way the buyers are not focused on the pictures, they're focused on the actual house. So remember that. Also remember to price the property to sell. So you don't want to price it too high, and you don't want to price it too low, right? So you definitely want to focus on that as well. Make sure that you're realistic about it and you have a good understanding. But not only that, but your agent helps you understand the reason why it has to be priced at a certain price, so that way you get to sell it fast. If you guys like this information, please hit that like button. I'll definitely appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe, as I upload new videos every single week. And if you guys are in the Orange County area or surrounding counties, or you're looking to sell, buy, or invest, as I'm an investor myself, I will be more than glad to help you guys out. Or if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. And if you guys want any more information, go ahead and email me. My information is in the description. And thanks, guys, for watching again. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon.